Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Geek Dad Report. The one show dedicated, formulated, specially created into, into Ryan playing with a light-up dinosaur?
It's a turtle.
Me, unfortunately, being another goddamn year older. As always, I am the hostess of the mostest, yet slightly older, Brian West, and that beautiful man over there with a glowing dinosaur in his pocket, it's Ryan Tomlinson.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Is that what she said?
Wow.
How many times have we talked about this? You cannot just randomly say that's what she said when it's not relevant to that's what she said. You can't be like, that's a nice car you got there. That's what she said. No, that's not what she would say.
You know, I take the Michael Scott from The Office approach, and I think it could apply to a lot of things.
Right.
But
you know what? After the week I've had, I'm not going to judge you. You can say whatever you want to.
It was your birthday yesterday. Did you have
I'm still celebrating with my birthday scotch currently as we speak.
Yeah. So you didn't do anything, or?
Yeah, I mean, I did what everybody normally does. I opened presents from the family. I said, "Ooh, you're so nice, thanks." And when your kids make you cards, you're like, "It's the best ever," and you're like, secretly, "No, it's not."
I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this card forever. And then when they go to bed, you just toss it in the garbage can.
You know, and then you tell your wife, babe, it's the best presents ever. You know, what you're really hoping for is that, like, $5,000, like, HD fucking recording studio setup. But,
or, you know, some skimpy lingerie.
Or some skimpy lingerie. No, my wife bought me some pretty good presents. But, no, sorry.
I was talking about for yourself.
Oh, for myself? Well, yeah, duh. You know what? Wives, when your husband asks for the sexy elephant trunk G-string, you get him the sexy elephant trunk G-string. So what if you can't feel it?
Yeah.
It still makes me feel good to wear it. I mean, your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I feel sad. This is where our lives are at this point.
Yeah. Honestly, it was a typical dad. It was a typical dad 39th birthday. I had to work. It was Wednesday. It's been the hottest freaking balls here in Washington. So I came home. I was exhausted. The kids made me some cards, and my wife gave me a couple cool presents. I actually got some cool art stuff. So I've been doing a lot of drawing lately. So I'm kind of excited about that. But and I got a new Halo. I got Halo Wars 2 on Xbox. That's pretty good. So I don't know if it's good. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Because I forgot that when you get games now on the new game consoles, you have to put in the game and it loads for like 5 hours before you can actually play it. So I will have a review on this show. But yeah, so I got some cool presents for my wife, and then everybody went to bed, and I got buck naked and sat on the couch eating ice cream and drinking scotch.
You know that's not a normal thing to do, right?
What? What do you mean it's not a normal thing to do?
Sit naked on a couch, drinking scotch.
Not?
Because a lot of people don't really think that's the place to go.
Listen, you were brought into this world buck naked, alright? So on my birthday, I wear my birthday suit, and I eat birthday ice cream, and I drink birthday scotch, and I watch birthday shows until I pass out drunk and call in sick to work.
I always think that ice cream and scotch at some point it's just not going to mix. Like, that mixture is just not going to work. But if it works for you, man.
Do not judge my birthday rituals or my birthday rituals.
Do you make like a scotch ice cream float?
Oh my
You
god.
put, like, the ice cream in, and then you pour the scotch over it. That might work.
Like butterscotch? Like a butterscotch scotch ice cream float?
It almost like maybe you're making a weird version of butterbeer.
Yeah, this may have to be my new birthday.
It would be butterscotch. Or it's already butterscotch.
We'll call it naked butterscotch sundaes. That sounds like a weird sex move.
Yeah.
Hey babe, you want to do the naked butterscotch sundae? Woo! With an elephant G-string?
I've done that. Yeah, I'm fairly sure I've done that before. So.
Well, it was my birthday, so I may or may not have gotten the naked butterscotch sundae. Yeah. Woo!
It's like the one day you can kind of look forward to that where you kind of might get to do some stuff that you normally don't get to do.
Anniversary. Valentine's Day sometimes.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna slap your ass a whole bunch right now.
You know what sucks is like on her birthday, it's like the guaranteed you don't get any birthday.
Oh yeah,
she's
on
like
her birthday. It's like
my birthday.
All right, it's like her birthday. It's like all right, well, good night. I'm going to curl over on my side of the bed.
It's my birthday. I'm going to enjoy some me time. Well, I want to enjoy some you time as well. No.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yes. But we do have geeky dad stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Where were we going with this? What were we talking about? I had a great birthday, everybody. If that's what you're asking, I did not sit naked on the couch because I have 2 daughters at home, and that'd just be weird if they caught me eating ice cream buck naked.
That's a scar you for life kind of thing.
This is called comedy, people. This is where we exaggerate things to make it sound like it's real, but it's not.
Yes.
No, it's
the
real.
whole
That
getting some on your birthday thing is totally real.
Where are we going with this? Are we going to nerd news? We have stuff to talk about.
This is what nerds do nowadays, right?
Oh my god, this is what old men do nowadays. I don't feel old. Okay, I feel old. I do feel a year older. I feel much more. I feel wiser all of a sudden. Today I woke up and I'm like, I am much wiser today.
You just start like writing down like words of wisdom for people.
No, but I have strangely got to that point in my life where every time I see like an inspirational Facebook quote, I suddenly think that applies to my life somehow. Because now it's like, they're all about life is ending, make the most of it. Now it feels real. I'm like, Jesus, I'm getting old. I'm 1 foot in the grave. I better do something with my life.
Just suck in a whole bunch of air and it's kind of a process.
All these things are like, what was one I saw? Like, if it matters 5 minutes from now, but not 5 years from now, don't do it or some shit. And I'm like, yes, I believe it.
Do you go to your kid's school and you see the cat posted that says "hang in there" and you're just like, yes, dude, cat.
Hang in there. That is like the mantra for every working parent. Like, just hang in there.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah. Oh God.
Shit, we're Americans. Our motto is keep doing it until you die. Just hang in there till you're dead. 2 weeks,
we've been like trying to not just like give our kids up for like adoption. I mean,
yeah.
It's been a rough last 2 weeks.
Well, our kids are finally at that age, that real obnoxious age, not teenagers yet, but kind of still kids, where they're like, between the ages of like 6 and 10.
Yeah, and they're getting mouthy.
Oh, they're running into they're starting to form their own little personalities, and those personalities are assholes. Oh, fuckers.
But we do have ninja news this week.
How about this week we just bitch about being old men? That'd be.
I know, we can do a whole show.
I guess I'm just jaded since it's my birthday and now I'm old. Like I said, I feel like I'm 1 year closer to death, so now I'm just like every adventure's a journey, and I'm just like, yes, I must take my journeys.
We'll get our good friend Chris at Utah Outcast to come on the show, and we'll just have grumpy old man chat.
There we go.
And it'll just be.
I was telling my wife this, she calls me. I was texting my wife, right, about what I just told you guys about the inspirational quotes, and it's like, I'm really feel like everything is applying to me, and I got to do something. And my wife calls me. She's like, "You're not going to quit your job today, are you?" I'm like, no, I'm not an idiot. If I can't afford the internet, then I can't be on the Geek Dad Report.
Yeah, someone's got to do it.
Damn it. Anyway, all right.
Don't have our free internet yet.
If you guys would like to give us your old man stories or old lady stories, if you are a female persuasion, we'd love to hear them on this show. So feel free in the comments below to tell us how you feel old and how old age is affecting you like it's affecting me.
Do you bend over to pick up a sock and you hurt your back?
Yes. Do you get real excited about going to the chiropractor? Is it like Christmas? Yes, because you're old as shit. I feel like Old Man Logan. Like, as every day goes by, I'm turning into Old Man Logan without the cool claws.
If you do like a short, like your kid's like, "Hey Dad, I'll race you to that tree," and you race them, and then like your knee fucking hurts, and you're just like, all right, Dad's just walking back. I can't run.
I can't run. I can't walk. Everything hurts. You get out of bed and you strain a freaking ab muscle. Dude, yeah. All right. Well, you have tried to send us into the news forever, and I just keep rolling back into old man talk. So next week, this will be the we're going to relaunch this show instead of the Geek Dad Report. It's going to be the Old Man Report, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, all right. Ryan, I will no longer derail the show with my talks of old age. We have some ninja news. Not a lot of it because last week was Comic-Con and there was some. My brain still hurts from talking about the news last week.
I think everybody's brain hurts, so that's kind of why they decided to ease up on it a little bit this week and give everyone some time just to process. Because there's a lot of processing going on right now. So much processing.
Are you just processing so hard?
Yeah, my processor...
Just tell me how hard you're processing everything.
I processed so hard it just started ripping things. And
see, now that's what she said, Ryan. Alright, moving on. Star Wars news, everybody! Because that's a great segue. Guess what? Star Wars is getting a new writer. I guess I should be more specific. Star Wars Episode 9 is getting a new writer. Colin Trevorrow, known for Jurassic World, director...
You just sound like you went straight up Scooby-Doo.
I don't know. Trevor Toraro. It's like tomorrow, but with a V. Tuvaro. How about that? Raro. Anyway, apparently his script sucked, and Star Wars, LucasArts said, nope, we need a rewrite. Now, of course, they didn't come out and say it sucked. They said, listen, movies like this, we like new writers that come in and give it an overhaul all the time. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about Rian Johnson's script getting an overhaul. Or J.J. Abrams' final script getting an overhaul.
They could, use the Princess Leia excuse, unless they totally got it figured out for Episode 8.
No, what I'm gathering is, obviously I don't know anybody at LucasArts. This is just kind of reading the tea leaves here. So ever since Colin Trevorrow's last movie came out, I forget what it's called. It's like Finding Henry or something like that. Apparently it was a disaster movie. Like, people were saying it was one of the worst movies. Just story-wise, it made no sense. It jumped all over the place. You couldn't follow the movie. It was completely written, directed, produced, everything by him, and it was just a dumpster fire. And so the rumor is that really has a lot of people. They gave him a lot of creative control over this last Star Wars movie, and not creative control, but they gave him a lot of liberty to write his story and make his movie. And I think it's got them a little spooked. And maybe they saw the script and was like, yeah, we don't... Because, if you think about it, the only real big movie that Colin has ever done is Jurassic World, which was a big movie and a good movie, but basically it was Chris Pratt and dinosaurs, so it's hard to screw up.
Yeah, it was Jurassic Park just, taken to another level. I mean, I don't think you reinvented anything.
My wife is not at home, and my youngest daughter is now trying to get on the show. Yes, honey?
Daddy, where's Mommy?
Mommy is at a work function. She'll be back a little later.
Can I say hi?
Go, Charlie.
You want to say hi on the show?
You want to be internet famous, Charlie.
Come here, everybody. Don't knock anything over. This is my youngest Charlie. This is the one that is a ninja assassin here. Say hi. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Say hi, Internet.
Hi, Internet.
Say everyone should like, subscribe, and view the Geek Dad Report.
Good Dad Report.
Geek Dad Report. Say you should. Everyone subscribe.
Everyone subscribe.
Or else we're gonna be homeless and she'll be on the streets.
Oh.
Be homeless.
All right, go upstairs with your sister. Go watch Kong. Mom will be home in a little while.
Bye, Charlie.
There we go. See, people, we do have children. Look at that.
I want to just pinch your cheeks.
Yeah.
Did
I just shamelessly plug our show and say that if people didn't subscribe, like, and share,
this is going to be like the most. This is going to be the most viewed episode.
Yeah. Right, I'll probably get child watch care groups on me.
As you're drinking alcohol.
Hey, man, I drink in front of my children. I'm not a drunkard in front of my children, but my kids... Anyway, whatever. What are we talking about?
Colin Trevorrow,
anyway, his script sucked. It's out. They're bringing in some dude. I don't know who it is. Some guy. Let me pull up the article. Because Ryan didn't write notes tonight.
Do we care? Really?
Maybe. There's somebody who cares. Hang on.
All 7 people. It's a new writer. Nobody cares about the writers.
Oh, come on, Hollywood Reporter and your stupid ads. Close. Nobody cares. This guy who's writing it is...
Not a female? I'm sure there's a whole
Jack
bunch
Thorne.
of people
He's a British scribe. Whatever that means.
it's not a female. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people that are pissed that it's not a female.
Oh, whatever. Who cares?
Like, they're not giving women a chance, Brian.
Listen, Daisy Ridley is my favorite hero, so whatever. Why you gotta bring up shit like that?
I'm just trying to be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Anyway, moving on. I don't know if it's a big deal. I don't know if it's not. All I know is that Lucas is going to make sure that Lucas is out. Disney is going to make sure.
Lucas is sitting around his billions of dollars, just like rubbing it all over himself.
That's what I would do if I had $1 billion. Anyway, God, where are we at? We're like 20 minutes in, and we haven't even. I don't even know where we're at. Hang on.
We're talking about Star Wars, and then we're going to talk about Marvel.
Are we? What Marvel? We have Marvel news?
I thought we had a Marvel news.
Of course we have Marvel news. I was testing you. You passed. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm glad that my paying attention to the show notes paid off. But the show notes are actually non-existent.
So I was trying to find our timer. Well, it's because you didn't type them up. All right, whatever. So like I was saying, we're 16 minutes in and we're still talking about Star Wars?
Have we been recording, at least? That's just what I want to know.
Whatever. I'm old, people. Now that I'm really old, I could have memory lapses like this. These are kind of episodes you're going to just get from now on. Because I'm super old. What do you want to talk about? Marvel news? Do you want to talk any more about Star Wars? Are we done with Star Wars?
I think we are. I don't think there's any Star Wars.
I think this episode needs a page 1 rewrite. There we go. Let's start over. You know what? We're talking X-Men. Fuck them. They suck, and I hate them all.
Yeah, that's about all you need to know.
The end.
They're bringing back. They're doing the Dark Phoenix, and it's going to suck.
Yeah, it's being directed by Simon Kinberg, who's written a lot of stuff, but he's never directed a movie. It's going to be garbage. Well, maybe not. But
they did. Be. Yeah, but Fox stole that one guy from Marvel, Kevin Feige's guy.
Yeah, right-hand man. Well, we'll talk about it in a second, but you brought up the Dark Phoenix. The one good thing that is going to be happening in the new X-Men Dark Phoenix movie is that they have cast Jessica Chastain to play the villain. I think Ilandra, I think is her name is. She's part of the... God, I really didn't do any prep. I know who she is, but I'm just not even drawing a blank here. Oh, let's see here.
You're old and...
What?
I said, it's fine. We're accepting this is how you are now.
No, it's not how we are now. How I am now. Hang on, I'm gonna say it.
Wow, this is the most.
Well, you're not really helping me here. Okay, you're coming with no information, and I'm trying to find information.
Well, why do we have to have? We don't have to have information.
There we go. Yeah, Ilandra, the Empress of the Shi'ar Empire. God, that's what it was.
Yeah. People don't listen to our show for information, Brian.
Well, maybe they do. It's selling people short. Maybe they do listen to our show.
Wait, the Shi'ar... Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about.
Okay, Ilandra, the Shi'ar Empire, she eventually falls in love with Professor X, and then that's when, remember, like, in the cartoon, he went away and got a really cool wheelchair that floated. That's where he got it from. Yeah,
that's... The X-Men cartoon from the 90s gave me probably the most largest portion of my X-Men knowledge.
That Jessica Chastain is going to be the villain, but really the Phoenix is the villain. So I'm not really sure...
Yeah.
If anybody, I don't know, whatever. We're going to talk later about movies and TV shows and things that were crappy adaptations of great storylines. We could probably go ahead and throw this one into it since we haven't even seen the movie, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a crappy adaptation of a great storyline, X-Men Phoenix, Dark Phoenix. But anyway, that's going to happen. Who knows if it'll be any good. It'll have great actors and actresses like all the X-Men movies do. And if you're new to the show, I actually don't hate the X-Men. I love the X-Men. They're one of my favorite comic book properties. I hate that what Fox has done with the X-Men is where I'm angry. To Ryan's point, we mentioned a minute ago, hopefully that could all be changing. Kevin Feige's longtime partner in crime, Jeremy Latcham, has departed. He's left Marvel Studios for a similar position at Fox. Well, a similar position to Kevin Feige at 20th Century Fox. They haven't officially announced what he's going to be in charge of.
He went from Marvel to Fox, and he's still doing the same thing. That would be bad.
There's no word yet on what he's actually going to be doing, like if he's going to be in charge of X-Men or Fantastic Four. But The rumor is I mean, the speculation is that there's no way Marvel or Fox would bring him over and not have him in charge of their X-Men universe. It needs some leadership like no franchise in history has ever needed leadership, like, if that even makes sense.
Yeah, well, DC figured it out that they needed Jeff Johns. I mean, you need someone that can translate from the comics to the movies. That's what you have to try.
Not even that. You need somebody who understands the characters and the property and wants... Marvel MCU, for everything it's done, the thing that it's done that's been the greatest is it's captured the spirit of the comics and made them a movie. They're not completely faithful adaptations. Captain America's Civil War had very little to do with the comic book. But it was the fact that they captured what the Civil War was about, right? And they were able to put that into a movie if it wasn't a completely faithful adaptation. That's the problem. X-Men has never been able to capture what the X-Men really are about. Yes, they are about being hated in a world that fears them. But literally, they made one X-Men movie, and they've replicated that movie 7 times, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they made the original X-Men that, blew everyone's mind, and they said, well, we'll just keep doing that.
And the second one...
And we won't change the formula.
And X-Men 2, Wolverine, was basically a Wolverine movie, dressed as an X-Men movie. And then they just kept doing that for literally, like I said, 7 movies. So, I love the X-Men, and as much as I would love them to go back to Marvel, it's never going to happen. I mean, it's just not. You have with the Deadpool and Old Man Logan, you have Marvel has shown, or Fox has shown that they can be successful doing other things. And honestly, I don't hate that another studio has them because Disney would have never made Deadpool, right? Just wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
So
they never would have done that.
But if we could get somebody who understands how the MCU works and can do that for X-Men, then I mean that's what we all want. I mean, next to Disney getting the rights back, this is what we want. So
X-Men is a big enough property that it could easily compete with all the rest of the Marvel universe with just the X-Men.
Oh yeah, dude. The X-Men is a monster universe. The X-Men is every movie is the Avengers, is what the X-Men is.
Yeah, I mean and they can easily do what Marvel's doing if they just have the right direction. So I don't know. I mean, it would be interesting to see what he does, especially since the next X-Men movie is still kind of in its developing stages, so he can already just start to put his fingerprint on stuff. So
yeah, well,
it'll be interesting to see how this next X-Men movie comes out.
Yeah, I hope so because I would all joking aside, I would love to see a really great X-Men movie. X-Men First Class was really good. It was something different, and then Matthew Vaughn and Bryan Singer had to come back and just kind of muck it all up again. So I don't know, whatever. Hopefully, this is good news for them. News that's not good news for them that doesn't make me feel warm and cuddly is apparently we've got the X-Men TV show The Gifted is coming out this fall, and a lot of people supposedly it ties into the main X-Men universe. It takes place after I think the second movie, and so a lot of people had hoped hey, maybe this can be a direct tie-in, maybe we can start getting some of the X-Men that haven't been in the movies, or tie it in the way the Legion, which I ended up watching Legion didn't have any X-Men, but it tied into the X-Men universe in a really good way, and and a lot of people had hoped that The Gifted may do that. Well, apparently let's see here. Laura Shula Donner, who's running this, says that no, we don't want to confuse people and we don't want to oversaturate. So we've decided that our X-Men shows are going to stay separate from the movies, and none of our X-Men shows will ever have any X-Men or tie into the X-Men lore. What?
So basically, they're saying they want it to be X-Men, but not X-Men.
They want people to watch it because it says X-Men in it, and they put a big X in the name, but they're not ever going to put any of the X-Men in there because of who knows. I
they don't
understand.
Want to confuse people.
I get it to one extent. So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., one of our biggest complaints with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is they've never brought in any of the movie stuff into the TV show. We couldn't even get Hawkeye or Black Widow or some of the I would love to see a Captain America cameo. I understand the complications for that, but at least But at least we've gotten Daredevil and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. These are major Marvel characters that have their own TV shows. So to not even give us, any kind of X-Men, there's a million X-Men. Give us one of them. Hell, give us Iceman. You could bring him in as an ice. You don't have to show his real face. You can do any actor. You could just bring him in. I don't know. I just think
bring in fucking Morg.
I think, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's just so many good X-Men characters. But my guess is that they don't want to use any of them because my guess is that they have a lot of plans for X-Men movies going forward. And so that they don't want to tie any of their characters to a TV show. But then why watch it?
Because they want that. They want the money. And the way to do it is to trick people into thinking they're going to be getting an X-Men franchise or an X-Men property, and it's not.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't want to judge the show too harshly. We thought Legion was going to suck, and I know it wasn't for everybody. I ended up watching all 8 episodes, and it was really good. Once you kind of got into how different it was a really good show. I feel like The Gifted could be like that to an extent, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not happy the fact that we're not going to have any kind of X-Men tie-ins in this at all. I'm not saying I expect Patrick Stewart to show up, but come on. Patrick Stewart, cut his teeth. Well, not cut his teeth, but he was in Star Trek for how long? I mean, you don't think maybe he might be willing to show up for a couple episodes?
I think, Patrick Stewart will probably try anything at this point. He's just like...
Dude, he's on Family Guy.
Just a world traveler.
He's like...
doing everything.
He's like, I'm old, and I'm willing to take a paycheck, so...
Yeah. I'm old, I got fuckloads of money, and I got, a wife that's half my age.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I travel, so if you want to put me on a TV show, I'll do it, right? I mean, I don't know, whatever. Just frustrated. I mean, you've got CW, who's got The Flash, Supergirl, Superman, Arrow. They just show up, wreck shit all day long.
Black Lightning.
You don't hear DC going, well, this is too much. We're just oversaturated. Yeah. We're confusing people.
Going off of what you were just saying about Legend Tomorrow is apparently putting in a Muslim character.
A Muslim female.
Just a Muslim character just to piss off Donald Trump.
Probably.
That was like what the headline said. It was like they're doing it to try a retaliation for the Trump administration.
I will say this: Hollywood's always been right on the forefront of trying to, of progressive things, and there is a definite lack of Muslim characters on TV and in movies. Considering Muslim's a huge religion across the world, I guess it makes sense. It's smart to diversify your cast. I mean, for me as a non-religious person, okay, I don't really care either way. But I understand this means a lot to probably a lot of people, so I'm all for it. I don't think there's any issue with it. As long as the episodes don't turn into about religion, I don't care. I don't care what religion they are.
Well, and as long as the episodes don't suck.
Yeah, I don't care. And it's not even about a Muslim thing. I wouldn't want to see a Christian episode of Legends of Tomorrow. I don't want to see any religion in my comic book shows.
No.
Except for like Superman when they have like the Jesus kind of, symbolism, which because Superman kind of is a savior, so I get it. But
I think Preacher is a good exception.
Yeah, well, that's a different story. That is a great show. Side note, if you guys aren't watching, if you got turned off by season 1 of Preacher, just get back on it. Santa Killers is in this, and he's amazing. Preacher is so fucking far off the rails. I don't even know how this gets made, honestly.
Seth Rogen.
I feel like AMC looks at these and just is like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
AMC just let Seth Rogen do whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hang on. God dang it.
What do we got next, good sir?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about next? We could talk about John Cena. Would you like to talk about John Cena? Or we could talk about Apple or Marvel?
I don't really want to talk about John Cena, but let's just get it over with.
All right, so here's where we're going to go, people. So in case you have to use the bathroom, we're going to let you know what we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about John Cena, and then we're going to talk about Marvel, more Marvel, and then we're going to talk about Apple. And I'm not talking about the pie. I'm talking about the super badass phones and computers. All right, so John Cena. John Cena has been cast as the lead in the upcoming Bumblebee Transformers standalone movie.
This is what the world needs.
All I can say is...
Doesn't he go like this a lot?
Yeah, you can't see me. What I want to know is how is he going to fit in? Can he even fit into a Camaro? Is that even possible?
No.
I don't think he can. But you know what?
Yeah,
I will say
too much steroids.
All joking aside, I do feel like Transformers deserve wrestlers as the leads in their movies. I just feel like this will make them better.
You know, I have a feeling that the WWE is going to do a lot of cross promotion with Transformers, and we're going to just start seeing I don't even know who anybody is anymore. Honestly,
I do know my daughter knows who John Cena is because they did an animated crossover with Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. I think I saw, the Undertaker is still around or something. Like, that dude's got to be, 90 years old by now.
I don't know.
He is the fucking Crypt Keeper.
I'm not into the wrestling anymore. That was in my younger years. But, hey, if they want to bring back Hulk Hogan in the next Transformers movie. Except for, didn't he, go on some racist tirade? Okay, I don't need Hulk Hogan. Let's get...
Yeah. Hulk Hogan
Oh, Macho Man, he died. His ultimate... Well, he's dead, too.
Flair.
Ric Flair. Is Ric Flair alive?
I think he is.
Woo! I think he's too old to start a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Let's just bring back Shia LaBeouf. He's crazy too. How about Shia LaBeouf and John Cena team up movie in a Transformers?
That's what they might need.
I like it. Here's what I want to see. I want to see Gary Busey and Jake Busey do a father-son Transformers movie. That's what I want to see.
Or if you get
how about Gary... a Decepticon movie? How about a Jake Busey, Gary Busey Decepticon movie?
Is Sizemore doing anything these days?
Sizemore? So you want a washed up? So let's get a washed up Incredibles, but of really bad actors, or Expendables, washed up Expendables, but of worse C-level bad guys, and turn it into a Decepticon movie, huh?
I think we need to go pitch this right now.
Paramount, call us. We're not doing anything.
Yeah, we're not going to pitch it to you. You need to come to us, and we'll give you our ideas.
No, we'll come to you. It's cool. Just send us I'll just don't send me on Spirit Airlines, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, we'll just take free flights and a hotel.
Because they charge you for your pants, and I will go pantless. Don't you fucking tempt me, Spirit Airlines. All right, moving on. What did I say was next? All right, Marvel news. Let's see.
I thought we did Marvel news.
Speaking of Marvel news,
Spider-Man.
Because you were speaking of Avengers 4. What? Spider-Man? Spider-Man's made a shit ton of money.
How much money?
Almost $300 million, which is, guess what? Guess what that's more than, Ryan?
Spider-Man?
No, that's the wrong answer. It's more than Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
1 and 2. Listen, I understand there's been 30 Spider-Man. It's easy to confuse them. But there's regular Spider-Man, then there's the Amazing Spider-Man, and then there's Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes. I still have not seen The Man of Spiders, but I heard good things.
That is one of those weird Fear Factor videos. Do not watch that one. Talk about Spider-Man Homecoming? That's a great movie.
Dude, I had to stop watching that show. I liked it, but then when they were eating some nasty shit.
Well, it just straight turned into you're gonna guzzle horse cum. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Fear Factor. That's just gag factor. That's gross.
Yeah. That's pretty much what that show became.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, all right. So back to Marvel. We're not getting sidetracked by horse jizz. Way to go, Ryan. Way to lead us down that dark path.
It was you, not me.
Me? That was all you. I'm blaming you on that one. Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming has made more money than The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. So congratulations, Sony. You did the right thing and you let Marvel make your Spider-Man movie. Congratulations. Let's see. Another thing that's coming out is Avengers 4. Apparently the casting list got leaked today and it's fucking long. It's literally got almost everybody. A couple notable absent, though, is Tom Holland, which is Spider-Man, is not on it. But Kevin Feige already said that Spider-Man will be in Avengers 4, so it could be just a misstep. But it's literally got pretty much everybody who's been in any Marvel movie, which I guess can be a little bit of a spoiler if you expect a bunch of people to die at the end of Avengers 3. I did not. Avengers 4 was always going to be the one where they all die.
Yeah. 4 is going to be the reset.
Yep. That'll be their Flashpoint, but without the Flash.
Because people got contracts and they were going to be making way too much money if they keep them around.
Yeah, Chris Evans is going to be demanding Bobby Downey Jr.'s money pretty soon.
Yeah. Could be like, I need $100 million per movie.
Let's see. In other Marvel news, Ant-Man and the Wasp is now under production, which is cool. They released a cool little, like... It showed, like, the director's chair, and then all of a sudden it showed two little tiny chairs that said Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, anyway.
Yes.
Expect to hear a lot of Ant-Man and the Wasp news coming because it's going on right now, but hey, whatever.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Something else that's going on right now is mad promotion for the Justice League. If you were like me and Ryan, who are avoiding pretty much anything and everything Justice League right now until the movie comes out, because we're really excited. There's a lot of spoilers. I will say this, there's a lot of really cool videos where people have intercut the Justice League animated series with the Justice League trailer, and they've created some pretty incredible things, which I'm very sad that I have not been able to watch because I'm banning all things Justice League right now. But they did release a super awesome poster that doesn't give away too much. It does show Superman, but I wouldn't consider that a spoiler since we all knew he was coming back. But I don't know, I'm pretty excited for Justice League. They're going to start ramping up the promotions because it comes out in November, which is not that far away.
Yeah, and don't accidentally see the Funko Pops because apparently the Funko, they give away a villain or something like that.
Oh, really? I've seen the whole line. I didn't see any spoilers.
I just saw a headline, so maybe it's something that
I know they gave a really good. They give you a much better look at Steppenwolf, the villain, because he's only teased a little bit in the trailer apparently, but you get a really good look at him in the new. It's a lot of the
pop figures.
Yeah, but they're pop figures, whatever. I mean, this isn't a Civil War situation where Funko gave away that Giant Man was in it. It's messed up.
Yeah.
Damn you, Funko! If you like to sponsor the show, though, as you can see, I'm a big fan.
Yes.
Anybody who hasn't watched our Game of Thrones episode yet, you should totally do that, but I unveiled this bad boy right here. Lord Commander, King of the North, Jon Snow. Look at that. Booyah! Season 7.
So cool.
It is pretty cool. Ryan's totally jealous. A little bit more DCEU news. The director who was going to direct Suicide Squad 2 apparently has decided to not direct Suicide Squad 2 and is instead going to direct Disney's Jungle Cruise.
Well, if it's a movie that's got The Rock in it, you're guaranteed to be a success.
That's also true.
At least at this point. So, any director, I'll direct a movie with The Rock in it, just to pad up my resume. So.
Well, my guess is, and this is my own little personal hot take here, is he's trying to angle for a Marvel movie, is what he's doing. So he's like, oh, sure, I'll direct Jungle Cruise, and then I'll direct Captain America 5. Boom.
Yeah. And they'll be like, all right, but Captain America dies.
Yeah,
so.
And, we'll see. But last little bit of DC news we got for you guys is, and this is firmly a rumor, we talked about last week that Ben Affleck said he's willing to play Batman for a while, but a lot of speculation is how much. Well, apparently a rumor is leaked that apparently Ben Affleck is renegotiating his contract to star in not Justice League 2, but Justice League 1, 2, 3 Batman movies, and then he will reprise his role in a Batman Beyond movie. Now, this sounds awesome, but it also sounds like a lot of fan wish fulfillment, so
yeah.
I'm going to say this rumor is false. I think it seems
like they're just trying to keep a lot of people placated so that they don't not see Justice League because Ben Affleck's not going to be around or something. They're just trying to make it seem like he's not going anywhere, guys.
I want Ben Affleck to star in as many Batman movies as we can get him because I really like Ben Affleck as Batman. That being said, all I really want is him to at least star in Justice League 1 and 2 for for continuity reasons. And then if you want to recast him in the new trilogy, fine. But then he has to come back for Batman Beyond. I want a Batman Beyond movie so fucking bad it hurts. I love that property, and I think him as 10 years as old man Bruce would be amazing.
Yeah, I remember. I think that's one of the few ones I've read. Wait, which one was Batman? That was where he's old man Bruce.
So it's where he can no longer be Batman, so he hung it up, but he made his cool futuristic suit. Because he couldn't fight anymore. He's in his 50s, but his heart gave out. Or he was in his 60s. His heart gave out, and he pulled the gun. So his first time he ever pulled the gun on anybody. Well, maybe not in this universe, but in that universe. And so he gave up being the Batman. Well, then Terry McGinnis, who later later was found out that, spoiler alert, Amanda Waller had impregnated Terry McGinnis' mother with DNA she stole from Batman, basically making a Bat-son in Terry McGinnis, and then had them run into each other so that he would eventually become the new Batman, which he does. And Batman, as Bruce Wayne, becomes like a mentor. He's like Alfred in this, where he sits in the Batcave, helps him out. He still gets to use his brain, and occasionally he gets in like a robot suit and just beats the shit out of people, but...
I mean, if you could have a robot suit, I would definitely just go beat the shit out of people.
And Terry McGinnis is a great Batman. I mean, because he's not Batman. He's not nearly as cool as Batman, but he's like a totally different Batman. I don't know. I'm a big fan. So anyway, I hope that happens. That is, if more than anything, I just want that. Let's just make that movie. Warner Brothers, if you're listening to me, fuck all the other shit. Matt Reeves, make me Batman Beyond. 1, 2, and 3. I'll watch all of them.
Get it done.
Me and Ryan will come on board. I'll write. I'll help direct. I'll be the grip guy. I don't even care. I'll like do craft services. Just we'll help out.
I'll make sure the chairs are all out.
We're willing to offer our services for free.
Yes.
Oh, hey, real quick. Last bit of Marvel news that we didn't announce in the Marvel section was we got our first look at Domino. We were talking about Deadpool. So, she looks great. Anybody who says that she's black, shut the fuck up. She looks great, and I don't give a shit.
She looks like a Domino.
She looks like fucking Domino. She looks like a different version of Domino, but I kind of dig the afro.
Did you like the eye thing? And
yeah, I like how it's a little bit of a reverse color. So her eye's white. So in the comic book, her eye was black and her skin was white, like chalky white. So in this one, her skin's black, but her eye's white. I think it's cool. Like I said, I think the afro is awesome too. So like I said, if you follow up this statement with "I don't like Domino because she's not white," well, you can just go to hell because who gives a shit. She looks great. All right, moving on. We promised some Apple news, and maybe a little while ago, and we're going to give you Apple news. Apple has officially killed the iPod Nano and the Shuffle.
Apple has gone Skynet, and we're fucked.
And all I have to say to that is, Apple, you were still making the iPod Nano and the Shuffle?
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, wait, those are still things people buy?
I guess. Doesn't everybody have... doesn't your phone play music? Isn't that what this is for?
Yeah, that's what I use mine for.
Oh, well, whatever. Apparently the other people use it for other things. I don't know. And also, apparently we have our first real leak of the Apple iPhone 8. Now, you can take this with a grain of sand. There's always leaks coming out. But the new iPhone 8 is going to launch sometime next month. It is not, and apparently this was actually pulled out of code that Apple themselves released for their upcoming Home Deck or HomePod or whatever their new version of Alexa is that they're going to release coming out this fall. So some of the juicy details came out that it's going to be roughly the same size as all the other iPhones, so you can get it in the big size or this size right here. But the big difference is, if you look here, see this little black outline right here.
It's going to be gone.
It's called a bevel, right? And it's got a little home button. This is all going to be screen. And they're going to have a digital home button that you can press anywhere if you want to for fingerprint. So you don't have to actually touch it at the one spot. You can touch it anywhere. The other thing that supposedly it's going to have is facial recognition and Retina ID scanners.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, and some crazy camera technology in the back. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm due for an upgrade. This is a 6S. I need a new one. Guess who's going to have an iPhone 8? So I usually try and get mine the first week it comes out. So we will have a full breakdown on this show in September.
Yeah, I will not be buying one, but I'll look at it.
At that point, though, I will need you guys to start kicking in money for the show because I'm hearing the new iPhone 8 is going to be like $1,000. So I definitely might need some cash.
We'll set up a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, GoFundMe so I can get a new iPhone 8. I'm sure that'll go over well. So a little bit of other tech news we got. Super Nintendo Classic is coming out here soon, and me and Ryan both really want it, but we're a little worried because the last Nintendo launched to like 7 copies. And,
and
a few people
the Switch, like people are still having a hard time getting a Switch, and that thing's been out for a while.
Well, Nintendo has released a statement due to the overwhelming demand of the Super Nintendo Classic already, and they said that they are going to have lots of additional units for stores so that they will be able to fulfill their pre-order requirements and have them in stock. To that I say, bullshit.
Yeah.
Nintendo is notorious for being assholes when it comes to stocking their product.
Oh yeah, they don't give a shit. They just want Nintendo hype so that people buy more Switches. That's what they want.
I'm not buying a Switch, Nintendo. Listen to me now. The Geek Dad Report is not buying a Switch. We will buy a Super Nintendo Classic if they're in the store, but I'm not buying a Switch. I'll pay the same amount for the Classic, but I'm not buying your stupid Switch.
Why?
Because reasons. Moving on.
Good reason. All right.
Wow, last little bit of news we got for you guys before we get a couple trailers to talk about is some... Actually, is that the last bit of news? Hang on. I thought I had a story. Oh, we talked about our Game of Thrones episode. I didn't want to mention it again. HBO is just kind of a public service announcement. HBO has been hacked, and a lot of their Game of Thrones episodes have been stolen, so there's already spoilers being leaked online. Me and Ryan recommend, other than on the Geek Dad Report, you can always hop on our comments because we monitor that shit. If you hop on other pages, comment sections, you may see spoilers for upcoming episodes. So if you don't want to know anything, be aware that they are out there in the wild. And instead, you should always just listen to the Geek Dad Report episode coverage.
You should never go anywhere else ever.
No. We got a new friend. We got a new fan. We got a new fan who watched it. He's from Africa. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and he's not a prince that's trying to get us to,
trying to buy
our account.
No. And he's not like a friend, so that was pretty cool. Well, he's our friend. You're our new friend, buddy, if you're listening.
Yes.
All right. So last bit of news we got for you guys is unfortunate news. Some Dark Tower news.
Yeah, some darkness.
There's some good news and some bad news. The good news is that the TV show of Dark Tower is still going forward, and they got a showrunner. It's the old Walking Dead showrunner, Glenn Mazara, who took care of the first few seasons, which... I mean, I guess that you can take that as you want to. I'm excited. I like Walking Dead. I think Ryan's a big fan of Walking Dead as well.
And he did what he could. I mean, the AMC kind of fucked him at the end of the second season. So
yeah, and they gave it away to somebody else. But I think part of that problem was, I don't want to get too far on a side tangent here, but I think he was buddies with Frank Darabont. And I think he took over for Frank, and then when Frank started threatening to sue, they just got rid of anybody associated with him. So. But anyway, first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead were good. I think this is a good hire. I'm excited for it. Now, the downside is we've talked to a few of our sources, and everybody seems to agree that the Dark Tower is pretty much DOA. It is not a great movie. It's very meh. Apparently, it's not a very faithful adaptation. It doesn't tie well to the books, and fans of the source material will be very disappointed.
The test screenings have not been going well. And people that are seeing it are not happy.
Well, apparently, the original cut of this movie was 80 minutes long, and people were so confused by it, they had no idea what was going on. And Sony was so pissed that apparently they were going to fire the director, bring somebody on to reshoot a bunch of stuff and finish it. But apparently he convinced them that he could finish it, and... He put together a movie that at least apparently makes sense to people now, but it's disappointing. I've never read the books, but this movie looked really good. And we have fans like Phil and a few other people who are huge fans of this property, and I know how excited they were to watch this. And it just sucks for everybody who's who's really into the Dark Tower. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to prejudge it. Sometimes critics are vastly wrong, but this seems to be overwhelmingly the consensus from everybody.
Yeah, it seems like it might be something where I'll just go find a book and I'll read it.
Well, I bought The Gunslinger, which apparently if you're going to buy it, Stephen King has a new edition out now that has about 30 more pages that fills in a lot of the stuff that didn't make sense in the first edition. So I'm gonna try and read that over the summer. I want to see this in theaters. I don't know if I'll have a chance to go see it. If I don't, I may wait now and just go ahead and read the first few books, so that way when I watch this movie, I at least... Because apparently they don't explain anything. If you've never read the books, you have no idea what's going on.
No. Oh, gee. That's not
a good way to... Which is not a good way to start a franchise, but... We'll see what happens. If any of you guys see The Dark Tower and you have a different opinion, we'd love to hear it. And obviously, if we need to check it out, we can check it out. And we'll let you know what we think when we do. So until then, what we've heard is it's...
Yeah.
Not good. All right. And let's see here. Lastly, Nightmare Before Christmas is getting a sequel in a comic book form. If you care, yippity-doo-dah. Zippity-yay. Let's see, moving on. We got a couple trailers that dropped this week we wanted to talk about real fast. Sharknado 5. Whatever. I haven't seen Sharknado 4, but I enjoy them when I like to drink and watch them. I may do that with 5. I don't know.
I haven't even seen Sharknado 1.
Well,
So,
I'd suggest skipping 1 and going straight to 2. 2 was pretty decent. 3 was not so good.
Okay.
They're just fucking terrible. They're just bad all the way around, so whatever.
Yeah.
But it is coming out, and some people do care. Let's see. Jennifer Lawrence has a new movie coming out from the same guy who did Darren Aronofsky, the guy who did Black Swan. It's called Mother apostrophe, and it was a teaser. Apparently, there's a full trailer coming out next week. It's fucking weird. It's supposed to be a horror movie, but I don't know. I think it wants to be The Shining, but I'm going to kind of not judge this one until I see at least a full trailer.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, I don't really care. I was not a fan of the Black Swan, so I'm not really excited about this. And then today, a trailer for the Death Wish remake dropped today, starring Bruce Willis.
It's Bruce Willis being Bruce Willis.
It's like John McClane has finally gone to the end of his rope and has gone full vigilante. I mean, the trailer looks cool, but I have a couple observations. One, is this the movie America needs right now? I don't think so. It's about a guy who just is tired of shit and takes guns and just takes the law into his own hand and just starts murdering everybody. So, it could also be called Old Man McClane, or The Punisher, The Glory Years is what it could also be called.
It's called the new Boy Scout leader instead of being the last Boy Scout.
The last days of the last Boy Scout. You know, whatever. The movie itself looks alright. It looks like Death Wish, but like I said, I feel like this is just a really bad time to release this movie. We have so much going on right now in America, and so many people are angered by so many different things. I don't know if a movie about a guy who just says, fuck it, and grabs a gun and starts murdering people is really the movie that we need right now. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of reaction this gets in the theaters when it's released.
Yeah.
But whatever, I'm not here to judge. If it's a good movie, I'll watch it. The original Death Wish was a good movie. But I don't know. Let us know what you guys think.
And Bruce Willis, so.
Yeah, it's Bruce Willis. I can't speak tonight.
Ooh.
Oh, whatever. All right. You know what? Moving on. Faithful
next?
50.
We have a Faithful 50 that we want to do next.
Yeah, let's do Faithful 50. We got a lot of Faithful 50 stuff.
So, Phil, he
First of all,
wants to
welcome
know
back,
why.
Phil. It's been a long time since you've graced our show with your glorious presence, and so we thank you for coming back.
Phil says, why oh why did I ever believe that they would make a decent Dark Tower movie? I hate Sony. You know, like you just heard, Phil, we agree with you. We have no, we have no things to add to that. That's pretty much exactly what we were just saying.
It's the same reason, Phil, why I still watch every X-Men movie and believe that one day they're going to make a good X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm stupid, and because we love it so much, we want to see a big, awesome adaptation, and we just get bought in. The trailers looked awesome. You're not the only one, Phil. It's got Idris Elba, who's great, and Matthew McConaughey, hey.
Yeah, it's good to dream, Phil. It's good to dream.
All right, what's
so
next?
We have David. He wants to know, how often do they come up with new superheroes? I don't feel as if I know of any new ones. And he emphasized the new in all caps. Yeah. And I would shout it, but I don't feel it. And he wants to know, what superhero would you come up with? Thanks.
Well, David, I can answer that. The reason why that we don't get a lot of new superheroes is because there's a couple of reasons. One, that's not entirely true. There are a lot of new superheroes that pop up all the time. They're just not in Marvel or DC. If you read Image or Dark Horse, they're constantly coming up with all kinds of crazy, different, creative superheroes. And me and Ryan were reading a series called Black Hammer from I believe Dark Horse. Is really good.
So good.
Different superheroes. Invincible from Image, Robert Kirkman, it's superhero. I mean, there are lots of good new superheroes that pop up all the time. They're just not always ones you've heard. Faith, we did a comic book review on Faith, a superhero from was it Valiant or IDW? I think it's Valiant. But
Valiant.
There's some great new heroes out there. But as far as Marvel and DC, we'll stick to that for the purpose of your question. There's two reasons. The main one being money. They want to sell books, and a lot of times new superheroes that you don't know don't sell books. And so, what they tend to do, what Marvel, we've talked at length on the show about it, is how Marvel especially likes to say, we're going to create a new superhero, but we're going to turn him into Iron Man. Or we're going to turn him into the Hulk. Or we're going to turn him into Thor. So instead of giving us a new character that is its own new hero, new persona, even some of the really good new ones that they have come up with, Miles Morales is a great example of a new superhero. He's still Spider-Man, right? So they use Spider-Man to sell another character. But, what's her name? Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, she's an Inhuman. The Inhumans have pushed a lot of new superheroes lately. X-Men also does the same. As far as anybody you've heard of that might pop up in an Avengers movie anytime soon, no, there's not really anybody. Like I said, maybe Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, but Miss Marvel is the same name as Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man is the same name as Spider-Man. So,
they can only do so much to where they start getting into like other characters or like other character abilities and kind of having too many similarities. And DC, I'm sure, double checks everything to make sure they're not trying to, infringe on something. I mean,
and Marvel's not the only one.
That's how you get Deadpool and Deathstroke, who are essentially the exact same character.
Well, and if you go over to DC, every new character that comes out has Batwoman, Bat Guy, Bat Robot. I mean, Robin, Damian Wayans is a great new character that sprung up in, not that long ago, but he's still Robin. Nightwing is the last real... Nightwing's one of the few success stories where you took a sidekick and turned him into a really successful superhero. It just doesn't happen a lot. And the other problem that you run into is every power has been done a million times. It is so hard to come up with new superheroes with new origin stories and new powers
that are strong. What's this guy do? He gets angry and he gets really strong and smashes stuff.
Yeah, right now in the comic books, what you have a lot of is these characters having kids, or the sidekicks trying to become superheroes. Taking existing characters and making them more mainstay characters. Like a few years ago, Cyborg was a Teen Titan, and the New 52 kind of moved him into the Justice League, and he's become a much bigger character since that because of it. But that's kind of the problem. The problem is two things. One, everybody likes to pretend like comic books are a public service, but they're a money business like anything else. And to be frank, the big names sell comics.
Yeah.
Even Star Wars characters. There's a reason why we've gotten 5 Darth Vader titles and 1 Princess Leia miniseries because Darth Vader moves books.
So
brand
what
new characters
superhero...
you've never heard of in the Star Wars universe don't move comics.
Yeah. So what superhero would you come up with?
Oh, God.
How about a superhero that's approaching 40 and just wanted to get some of the vitality back? That's my superhero.
Vitality Man? I would like to see a superhero. I think this has already been done. I think Sandman, Hourman. I like to see a superhero that people think he is like super fast, but really what he can go back in time 30 seconds.
Yeah.
30 seconds at a time, right?
That would work. Thanks for the question, David.
So I think that'd be kind of a cool superhero. I mean, that's something original that I would think would be pretty cool. Only you can manipulate time at only 30 seconds at a time.
Yeah. You never know when you might need it.
Yeah.
If you're microwaving something and it's just too hot, you can just go back 30 seconds and pull it out before it burns the roof of your mouth.
That's true. I can't think of anybody else. I mean, there's how about Airman, a man who could make air?
That's just farting.
He just farts. I would like to see a comical character. Domino. I'd like to see someone who just is lucky. I mean, that's kind of Domino's character. Everything falls in her favor. But I like to see a superhero that has no real skills, but somehow just always wins.
Isn't that Squirrel Girl?
Yeah, well, no, Squirrel Girl's got powers. I don't know, whatever. Like I said, everything's been done. I mean, if you say I want to make a Rat Boy, well, there's already Squirrel Girl. I mean, everything's been fucking... There you go. You know what? Squirrel Girl. She's an example of a new character that somehow has been really popular, And she knocked out Victor Von Doom at one point. That's awesome. But
Yes.
to answer your question, there are some new heroes out there. You just got to dig deep for them. All right, thanks, David. Thanks for the question. That was a really good one.
Jeff wants to know if you could drink a beer with one superhero, who would it be?
Well, it sure as hell wouldn't be Batman, because that'd be real, just like quiet.
Yeah. You would like start drinking, he would just like knock over your drink and like leave. He would seem like you'd be that guy. Like he just gets annoyed and he's like,
worst part is he probably wouldn't even pay the check and he's a billionaire.
Yeah. He'll just be like, you got this.
I want to drink with Wolverine, because that dude likes to pound him, and you know if you get into a fist fight, that guy has got it covered.
Yeah, and it'd be good to like sit around and watch. I would say Deadpool, but
who would you not want to have a drink with?
Deadpool, because you know you're gonna die.
Definitely would not want to have a drink with Deadpool. That would be terrible. Lobo, don't want to drink with Lobo, and we already said Batman. So I'm gonna say if I could drink with anybody, I'd like to drink with Wolverine. That'd be great.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
All right.
Those are the questions.
No, we got more.
50? Oh, we have more?
We have a lot more, believe it or not.
Oh, my God.
I reposted it. A lot of people put them on my page. So, Josh came with 3 questions. He wants to know, 1, why is DC Legends of Tomorrow so cheesy?
Because it can.
Because it's time travel, and they want to have a lot of fun with it, so they keep it cool. Yeah.
And nothing wrong with having a fun show.
That being said, I understand what he's saying. There are some episodes that are really good and some that are really bad. So maybe tighten up the cheese just a little bit, and then, but yeah, I think that's why, because they want to kind of keep it campy. It's supposed to be like a little bit of a time travel kind of fun show, not so serious. He wants to know, is Wonder Woman the only female that could procreate with Superman? I'm going to say no, because in the comic books, Lois Lane and Superman have a comic book now.
Yeah.
Or have a kid.
And, yeah, because, like, isn't it in the comic, like, it's when Superman and Wonder Woman have sex, they basically just, like, blow up mountains? I mean,
yes, they do. And I don't even know, yeah. Doesn't procreate actually mean have children? So I don't know if he can have a child with an Amazonian. I mean, he has a Kryptonian DNA. Long time in the comic books, for the longest time, the story was he couldn't, his DNA couldn't mix with human. And that's why.
But didn't he have a daughter with Diana?
I don't think so.
And became Supergirl.
No, Supergirl. Wow, no. Supergirl is his cousin.
Yeah, I know, but he had a daughter that became like Supergirl.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know.
I do know that he has a son with Lois called Jonathan. You know what? That reminds me. You need to call DC and see if we can get Volume 2 of Superman, because that Son of Superman storyline was fucking awesome. I want to read the second volume.
The second volume to DC, it's got Superman
and Damian and Bruce and Damian
and they're all like facing against each other.
Yeah, that's a good storyline. I really enjoyed that a lot.
And the Supermans are all smiling, the Batmans are like,
yeah, they're all. Jonathan Kent and Damian Wayne are like ready to punch each other in the face. I'm gonna put my money on Jonathan Kent on that one.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally, Josh wants to know: are the White Walkers related to the Walking Dead walkers? No.
No.
All right,
not even close.
Chris wants to know: finally saw Spider-Man: Homecoming today. Is it him, or is that the best ending ever of a Spider-Man movie when Aunt May walked in on Peter? He says he's still laughing his ass off. Ryan hasn't seen it, so I'm going to say yes. That is fucking awesome. Chris, all I can say about your question is, what the... All right, moving on. Chris, Evil Chris, would like to know... He wants to know our opinion on why DC, Marvel, and now Fox won't allow their TV properties and movie properties to intertwine. Well, Chris, we've kind of covered that already at length, but...
Because they want that money.
Because you asked, we will give you an answer. I'm going to say because...
money.
I don't think it's money. I think it's they're all trying to create these massive shared universes, and they don't want to commit certain pieces because they understand the monetary value in their movies versus their TV shows, and I don't think they want to commit certain things to that. If that makes sense.
So you think a TV show dilutes value from the movie?
I think that idea is still out there. I mean, I know for the longest time, like, movie stars wouldn't do television shows, and I think that's going away. And I think TV's slowly becoming the platform for good storytelling.
Yeah.
But I think there's a couple things. One, I think there's still a lot of the actors who won't commit to doing TV shows and the movies. This Dark Tower thing will be interesting because Idris Elba has already said that he's going to be appearing in the Dark Tower TV show. I think that really is the future of storytelling, where you have TV and movies intertwining. And I think eventually they're going to have to figure out a way to make it work. Marvel, I have no idea why Marvel is so... DC I get to an extent because DC has a different universe. They have their television universe and they have their movie universe. Now, they do have the 52 universes, so they could find a way to make them collide. But they have their heroes in their CW verse and their DCEU verse. So I understand why they don't cross as much. But to their credit, their TV shows all cross. We've talked all the time about how you can be watching Arrow and Flash just pops up for no reason. It's not even in the trailer and he's there, or vice versa. And I think that's great. Marvel drives me nuts. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil. Hell, you can't even get the Netflix shows to cross over with each other during their shows until we're finally getting the Defenders.
It seems like if everything's on the same network, they'll let it cross over. But if it's not on NBC, if it's not on Fox, then there's not going to be any crossover.
But even when there is, I mean, CBS and CW were able to cross over. I mean, I guess they were partially owned by the same people, but the fact that Netflix couldn't even cross over their own. I mean, when you watch Iron Fist, the fact that you did not get it by that point, you did not get a Luke Cage or a Jessica Jones or Matt Murdock showing up, just made no sense by that point. If it's all connected, it has to all be connected. I do know there's some scheduling issues. I do think that has a lot to do with it. You have to schedule these actors. You have to film. TV shot much different than movies, so I understand there can be some scheduling nightmares. But to be honest, there is no real reason why we cannot occasionally get a cameo popping in and out. I mean, we did get Nick Fury in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was cool. But yeah, I mean, the Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. aren't even crossing, and that's just stupid at this point, right? Marvel's bad. Marvel's really bad at crossing over their shows. I'm going to give DC a pass on this because they've been amazing at crossing over their CW shows. But I'm going to say they don't want to commit to it because they want to keep these. They want to keep these pieces. They think they want to keep their options open for the movie, and because everything now is a shared universe, they don't want to commit certain things until they have a plan for all of them.
Yeah, and they don't want to have to be like, well, now we have to cast, he's got to be the Arrow, so we can't, we can't recast the Arrow, so.
Yeah, but if you get John Berthenol, who's a great Punisher, if they want to make a Punisher movie with him, I don't think anybody's going to complain if they take him and put him in a movie. He's badass.
No. Yeah.
But, I mean, I would have loved to see Grant Gustin, to be honest with you, as Flash in the Flash movie. I understand why they didn't, but I think he's a great Flash. Mm-hmm. So, to your point, to casting, I think casting's also a big thing. I think they want to allow their directors of the movies the freedom to cast who they want to. But, anyway, I think that's what it is, so there you go. Well, thank you for your questions, guys, and moving on. So I don't know. It's we're about an hour and 7 minutes in. We had a little fun segment for everybody about really crappy adaptations in light of the Dark Tower. Or do we want to skip it?
Let's just do it really quick before I fall asleep.
All right, real quick. So let's give out 5. So the theory of this topic that we want to talk about is, in lieu of like I said, of the Dark Tower apparently not being that good, we want to talk about some movies that we're really, or properties we were very excited about, that were adapting something that you cared about, and then when you got it, it was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yes.
So the first one I'm going to bring up is one of the classic worst adaptations of all time, Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
I was actually really excited for that. I think it's one of the few times I remember being disappointed in a movie theater.
It was so... Not only did it have almost nothing to do with the video game, it was just terrible.
Yeah.
And you can lump Street Fighter into that one. At least Street Fighter had some humor to it. Super Mario Brothers was just bad.
Yeah, even Mortal Kombat had some fucking...
Hey, the first Mortal Kombat movie was cool. It had that killer soundtrack. Mortal Kombat! Dun 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 dun.
Always a good song to work out to.
Everybody used that song to work out to. It might still be in my playlist.
But yes, I mean definitely Super Mario Brothers.
What's one that you just despised?
You know, I didn't read the actual comic till I was later to find out like just why it was so terrible. But even just seeing the movie when I was a kid, Howard the Duck was the most fucked up. Like so the duck screws the chick or something,
that was so
and they're
weird.
just like. And I remember even being there looking at that at the theater when I was a kid. I was like,
it was so awkwardly.
That duck guy's gonna be with that human lady.
Dude, I was like 10 when I watched that, and I remember thinking to myself, even at 10, I'm like, there's something wrong with this movie. I'm not sure what it is, but it's just weird.
And that one guy that always plays the bad guy, and how does he die in the very end? I remember it was something weird. Yeah,
he gets ran over with that, like, Howard the Duck's, like, driving that, like, cart thing, and then he hits him, and then he goes in electricity and it fries him.
Yeah. That was just stupid.
Terrible. It's got Tim Robbins in it, if you believe it. It's got Shawshank himself in that movie.
Yes.
Oh, so bad. Let's see, what's another one? Masters of the Universe. That movie.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. I will say, when I was a kid, when I was a tender age of 8, that Dolph Lundgren movie was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I totally dug it when I was a kid.
When I was 17 and watched it again for some random reason, I thought, oh my God, my poor parents had to sit through this pile of steaming shit. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Shoot. I'm trying to think of one that...
So there's one movie I wanted to bring up, and I'd be interested if anybody else listening has read this or seen this movie. I only bring it up because it's kind of personal to me. And so when I was younger, I read this really good book called The Power of One. It's about this kid who grew up in South Africa, and it was a sprawling, epic novel about all kinds of different things in his life, and it was so good. And I heard the movie was coming out. It starred Steven Dorff. I was all excited to watch it. I finished the book. I got my parents to rent the movie. I finished my book literally the night we got the movie. I mean, it was like a 1,500-page book. Like, and as a kid, that was a big book. And I get the movie, and I'm watching it. It was like an hour and a half, and I'm like, what? It was the first time in my life I realized that when you have a really good book that's long, the movie is going to suck balls.
Yeah, because there's so much depth that they can't get into.
It cut so much of the meaning and important parts of the book out that the movie was just a shallow fucking shell of a movie compared to what the book was. And so, I mean, was the movie all that bad? Probably not, but it was the first time in my life I realized that when you adapt something, it's probably not going to be very good, which is impressive what movies like Harry Potter and The Lord of the Rings was able to do. How about The Hobbit? I never read The Hobbit, but I heard that was really disappointing the way they made the movie versus the book.
I honestly haven't seen the movies.
Oh, they're long. They get really weird.
I just never had for Lord of the Rings. I had to see every single movie when it came out, but for some reason The Hobbit just didn't excite me. Maybe I'm just done with the series. But
let's see, another books, the Da Vinci Code series, all 3 of them. The books are so much better than the movies. The movies are so weirdly boring.
What about Gina Davis' Treasure Island? That was pretty terrible. Isn't that
I kind of enjoyed that movie as a guilty pleasure. I mean, it's bad, but it's...
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good puns in there. Like, her uncle was called, Black Dog or something, and then she shoots a cannon at him, and she's like, Bad Dog. Boom! And she hits it and blows him up. It's pretty bad. It's such a 90s movie. Yeah. Let's see. What's another... Oh, The Punisher. How about Dolph Lundgren's Punisher? Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
It's so bad I barely remember it.
Let's see here. What else we got? Daredevil. I didn't hate Daredevil as much as everyone else did, but the storyline that it's based on is so good that I don't know how they managed to butcher that and not make it into one of the best movies ever.
Yeah, and it didn't have Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Yes, but it's a Frank Miller story. It's so good. The Man Without Fear. It's such a bullseye. It's such a good story. It has Bullseye and Kingpin and Elektra. It's so good, and the movie was just not there. I mean, it's not as bad as some of these other ones that we were talking about, but just
And it was the movie that got them married, right?
yeah, I guess, and probably divorced at some point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you got any other ones that you want to, off the top of your
There's
head,
a
you want to
lot.
talk about?
There's tons of movies. And
Oh, how about Timeline?
books.
Michael Crichton. That book was
Oh,
so
yeah,
good, and the movie was so bad.
Yes, we've talked about that one a bunch of times.
I don't care. I'm bringing it up.
Especially when we did all of our Michael Crichton reviews.
There's a lot of Stephen King movies. Dreamcatcher, that was a terrible adaptation. Ugh.
Yeah.
Apparently Dark Tower is a terrible adaptation.
Yes. God damn it, Dark Towers. Why you gotta happen?
All right, well, obviously, as you can tell through all our ums and ahs, me and Ryan put a ton of time into this topic, but if you guys have a story that you're screaming at home right now as you're listening, like, how come you don't mention, we'd love to hear what it is, and you can shame us with your awesome knowledge and our lack of preparation.
And maybe we'll bring it up in the next episode.
No, we won't, but we'll talk to you about it in the comment section. All right, moving on. Let's get the hell out of here. Because my birthday was yesterday, and because I'm so old,
I've been yawning.
I'm getting back pain sitting in this broken-ass chair. And we've got to record the after show, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. So if you want to find us, we're on...
Did you want to do our weekly recommendations real quick?
Oh, yes. We should do that.
What do you got? Make it fast.
My wife and I have been starting to watch Shooter, which is on USA. You can catch the whole first season on Netflix, like we did, and then I think they're on episode 3 right now, the second season on USA.
Isn't that Ryan Felipe?
Ryan Felipe, and it's kind of like a mixture of like Jason Bourne and what was that one sniper movie that was really popular?
Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
American Sniper.
Oh, I was going to say, it's based on the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Well, oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I never connected that together.
All right, well, watch the movie, too. You should watch that,
Yeah,
right?
maybe I should go see Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. I was going to say, this is like...
Oh my god, that's classic. That's a Geek Dad classic moment right there. Congratulations, that's awesome.
No, the show's been good. If you like, if you've been waiting for him to just fucking annihilate people at the very end, the last episode of season 1 is pretty fucking awesome. What he does with the sniper rifle and like figuring out like where to shoot people and like how far. And it's pretty cool.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
My wife and I have been we ripped through the whole first season in like 4 or 5 days, so it's good. It's only like 10 episodes.
Check it out. Shooter on USA right now. Season 2, season 1 is available to download currently on Netflix.
Netflix.
All right, thank you, Ryan, for that. I'm going to give for my recommendation this week. I'm going to give one of my famous 3-minute reviews, maybe even less. We'll see. Considering what movie it is, are you ready to time me?
Yep.
All right. Today on Geek Dad Report 3-minute reviews, I'm going to talk about Fast and Furious 8, The Fate of the Furious. What can I say about this movie? It stars Vin Diesel, The Rock, Paul Walker Light, Scott Eastwood, I don't know, this big bald dude from The Transporter, Jason Statham. It's got Charlize Theron. I'm just looking on the back here. Why? Because it literally has all the same people from all the other movies. There's like 57 people. It's got Missandei, the hottest girl in all the 7 Kingdoms from Game of Thrones on here.
Isn't there a choking rapper?
What? It's got Ludacris. Yeah. It's got Tyrese. It's got Michelle Rodriguez. It's got Snake Plissken. It's got Lamborghinis. And it's got like submarines. And it's got all kinds of good shit like that. Listen, I'm not going to bore with details of this movie. There's a plot in here somewhere, and it's entertaining, but really I don't give a shit. This movie is one of... Fast and Furious has gone from insane to batshit crazy, right? Like, without spoiling anything, There's a drag race in this when Vin Diesel finishes it going backwards with a car on fire. It's so...
That's always a good way.
Dude, this show is gone. I remember once at one point in it, looking at my wife as Vin Diesel's going in to take on an entire Russian army by himself in his tricked out car. And I said, remember in the first movie when they were just street racers stealing DVD players?
Yeah.
Now they're like one man fucking... You want to watch a superhero movie? Watch this, because this shit is way more superhero-y than any Marvel movie you ever watch. It's fucking insane. So, Fast and Furious... I don't know. Vin Diesel turns bad for a while for reasons that are given away later, and a lot of people punch shit, blow shit up, and everyone gets all real dramatic, and then whatever. The movie's dumb, but it's super fun. You'll laugh. You'll just slap your forehead in disbelief. But I will say this: it's entertaining as shit. It has lost its ever-loving mind and any focus on any kind of reality. But Fast and Furious is fun. And me, my wife, and both my daughters love the shit out of it. And we laughed our asses off and just had a really good time for 2 hours. But it is insane. They've lost their ever-loving minds. I can't wait for Fast 9, and I've heard Fast 10 is going into space. So prepare yourselves with Fate of the Furious, one of the dumbest, craziest, stupidest, yet highly entertaining movies you'll watch this year.
You still had 23 seconds. Good job.
And there's lots of ice and snow, and did I mention Lamborghinis? And there's a bunch of girls wearing booty shorts that I told my daughters that they're never fucking wearing. And Vin Diesel's bad, then good, then bad, then good again.
And doesn't The Rock redirect a missile?
My favorite part is everybody's like, Vin Diesel's gone rogue and he's going down. And then when he inevitably turns good again, you're like, welcome back, bro. It's like, what the fuck?
Did they call him Vin Diesel?
Yeah, and then the best part is Scott Eastwood's character is so blatantly they're replacing Paul Walker. It's not even like they are little. I'm surprised they didn't just call him Brian at one point, Brian O'Connell, because he's so trying to be. But whatever, it's fun. Watch it, you'll like it. If you don't, you just don't like fun things. All right, guys. On that note, you got anything else? Where can you find us?
You can find us on Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. Brian is BrianWest53, and I am Big Boozer. We're on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report, and you can find us on podhell.com.
Yes.
We are on Facebook and iTunes as well, so please go watch our Game of Thrones reviews that we've been slapping up on Facebook.
The North remembers.
And go to our iTunes and give us a rating and some stars, because we still don't have enough ratings to show all of them yet. So we need more ratings, and then people will be able to see what our ratings are, I guess.
Yes, good. Just share. If you like the show and you'd like to see us
like, subscribe,
cool shit, just share.
Stuff.
Like, whatever. Now we're just rambling. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll have another fun episode for you guys next week. We should have a new episode of Comics You Craze coming up in the next couple of days, and like Ryan said, our Game of Thrones coverage will continue every Sunday, Monday night. We'll try and get them up Sunday, but they'll definitely be up by Monday. So, until next time, guys, thanks for joining us, and as always, stay awesome, motherfuckers.
Stay nerdy, everyone.